So the Seahawks would lose their first Super Bowl against the Steelers. They would win their second one against the Broncos, 43-8. Seattle Seahawks equals 43. 43 plus 8 equals 51, like the number for conspiracy. Freemason also has a connection to 51. This Super Bowl was on a date with 38 numerology. Interesting to note that Colorado equals 38. It was the only Super Bowl ever played on the 33rd day of the year, February 2nd. The 33 coding is there. Seahawks equal 33. The Broncos won Super Bowl 33 on a date with 33 numerology. Super Bowl 33 was all by the numbers, Truth Seeker. It was also a date with 131 numerology, and Super Bowl equals 131 in gematria. Supposedly 82,000 people attended this game, a record. Seattle equals 82 the big way. Gematria of Seattle Seahawks, 43, like their number of winning points. Remember that the game began with a safety at the 12-second mark. Denver snapped the ball through the back of their end zone 12 seconds into the game. Seattle's 12th man. They just beat the Steelers in Week 12. You see what's going on here, Truth Seeker? If you can't see it, you're a truth denier. Know it. The most recent Super Bowl, the Patriots defeated the Seahawks. Tom Brady came into the game with 49 passing touchdowns in the postseason, a record, defeating the team from Washington in Super Bowl 49. Notice that Seattle and New England Patriots even have a connection through gematria. They almost always try to sync up teams that have numerology connections. Seattle was the first team to go to back-to-back Super Bowls since the Patriots, and their coach Pete Carroll had formerly coached the Patriots. There's connections deeper than the numbers as well, Truth Seeker. This league is so tightly scripted. When Pete Carroll became the coach of the Seahawks, he had a career NFL record of 33 wins, 31 losses. He replaced Jim Mora Jr., who had a career record of 31 wins, 33 losses. The ranging degrees of Scottish Rite Freemasonry are 31, 32, 33, summing to 96. Like Doug Baldwin's full name. Freemason equals 96. Last year's Super Bowl, all sorts of coding inside it, Truth Seeker. Washington, also the 42nd state. Tom Brady became 4-2 in Super Bowls. They played on the 33rd parallel in Glendale, Arizona. Both teams met in the Super Bowl with 14-4 records. Glendale, Arizona equals 144. Scientology equals 144. It was the first Super Bowl with a Scientology commercial. Just ongoing, Truth Seeker. Now here's where I want to finish. Let's talk about Russell Wilson, the Christian, this guy who routinely goes on TV in Seattle and says all this phony, false bullshit about what a great person he is. Understand that Russell Wilson is nothing more than a cock-sucking Zionist sellout who goes before people, gets paid millions of dollars, and deceives them. This is called disgusting. This is called ill. This is called sickness. And everybody who wants to deny it becomes part of the sickness. Here what we're going to watch is Russell Wilson being interviewed by Pastor Mark Driscoll, who ran the Mars Hill Church up in Washington until it was revealed that he was a fraud, stealing money from the church, sleeping with women from the church when he's a married man with children. Let's watch Mark Driscoll, before he was outed, interview Russell Wilson. Two frauds deceiving you in the same way football fans are deceived every Sunday. Time to wake up.
All right, Pastor Mark here with the members of the greatest football team on the earth, the Seattle Seahawks, and very, very glad to let you guys share a little bit about your background, your story, your history, what Jesus has done in your life. Russell, thanks for joining us, and man, what a great opportunity God's given you to do what you love and to do it well, to do it with a fan base that is glad to have you. So on behalf of the fan base, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. And so maybe a little bit about your story. I'm sure people are familiar with your performance. How about your upbringing and some of your family and history? And whatever you want to share is fine. We'd love to hear it.
Well, I'm Russell Wilson. I was born in Richmond, Virginia. Actually, I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio, but I lived in Richmond my whole life, ever since like 1 or 2. I got...
The guy doesn't even know where he's fucking born, Truth Seeker. I guarantee you he didn't just misspeak. The reason they probably the reason they probably tell him to say that he's from Cincinnati, Ohio, is because Ohio is the birthplace of football. Ohio also has a gematria of 47, that very special number, first Super Bowl in the 47th season. Seattle on the 47th parallel. The rotating restaurant on the Space Needle does a full rotation every 47 minutes. That number is no joke. Ohio, the birthplace of football. Russell Wilson doesn't even know where he's born.
Saved though when I was about 14 years old, and that's when my life started changing. I used to be a bad kid, shockingly.
Bzzz, you didn't used to be a bad kid. You still are a bad kid because you're a cocksucking sellout that goes before fans, accepts a paycheck, and pretends to be participating in something that isn't rigged. It's not just Russell Wilson. It's all these athletes. And for all the sports fans who want to deny what I have been showing for more than 2 years, you all are part of the problem too. You all are suckers of Satan's cock, truthfully.
What kind of bad kid? Like long snapper bad kid, or how bad?
Like Gresh. I used to be terrible. No, I'm kidding. No, I just used to beat up people. I used to bite people. I used to do just stupid stuff. Yeah, I used to
Man, it sounds like a D lineman. Yeah.
But I think that So that's kind of when my life started changing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be where I am today without Jesus. Jesus is my all. He's my everything. I'm not perfect by any means. I try to do the things the right way.
Let's just pause right there. I want you to know that the word Christian equals 47. Christianity is a construct of the Masons and the Zionists. Judaism is a much older religion than Christianity. They are responsible for creating the other false religions of the world. It's no coincidence that Christian equals 47. These are the signatures of the people who run the show. Jesus equals 74. Cross equals 74. Messiah equals 74. Yeshua equals 74. Joshua, the English translation of Jesus, equals 74. They say Jesus was crucified on the cross at 33. Only the 33rd state, Oregon, has a gematria of 74. None of this is a coincidence.
To live righteous, but I'm a constant, work in progress, and we all are. And nobody's perfect. And that's the amazing thing about Jesus is, he takes you for who you are.
You know what I notice about people who talk about Jesus a lot? They're often the frauds, the sellouts, the deceivers. I've met so many people in this world who have used Jesus to try to justify wrongdoing. I'm a homeowner here in the Seattle area. When I first bought my home, I had this guy come over that wanted to do an inspection and sell me something. And before he went into his pitch, he goes, I just want you to know that I'm not a deceiver. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. I want to let you know that you need to replace your siding very soon or you might lose your whole house. And I grinned at this guy and I said, I just want to let you know something. I've already had a bunch of inspections. I know that the siding's okay. You leading with Jesus was just a major turnoff. I see that you're a deceiver. You are welcome to leave now. And you should have seen the look on that guy's face as I told him to get the fuck out. Watch out for any of these people who talk about Jesus. Deceivers, and nothing more.
And so, for me, it's just giving him all the glory.
How important is it for you to have someone bigger than you, somebody to look up to, somebody to worship, somebody to live for, somebody to not make it?
And don't forget this guy who's talking right here in his nice little sweet voice, a major deceiver. Steals money from the church.
All about Russell.
Well, we talk about playing for an audience of one. Audience of one truly is, playing for the Lord, playing for Jesus Christ. And, every time
This guy's playing for the Lord Jesus Christ in these scripted fucking games, Truth Seeker. God, it makes me sick.
Step out. People always ask me, Russ, do you ever get nervous for games, or do you ever worry or anything like that? No, not at all. When I step.
Of course not, because the fucking script is in, and this cocksucking piece of shit thinks it's cool to follow the script. Fucking cocksucker.
Out in the field, God's put me on that field for a reason in front of 80,000 people, for a reason. And I truly believe that through my play, hopefully, that I can change people's lives.
Yeah, and I would say this too. You've done a good job, man. I mean, the mood in the city is, here's a man who works hard, he cares deeply, he produces results. There's a lot of boys waking up tomorrow putting on a Russell Wilson jersey going to school, And
that's exactly what's wrong with this nation. You know, the growing men are too stupid to see that the sports games are rigged, that planes can't melt into buildings. And then they raise their children to be as dumb as they fucking are. Tragic.
Anything you'd tell those boys that look up to you and put your jersey on and are rooting for you?
Well, I think for me, everybody's parents are different. Everybody comes up in a different lifestyle. For me, I was blessed enough to have parents that believed in the Lord. And I was blessed enough to have parents that worked extremely hard and were always motivating. But if you don't have those people in your life too, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you're 8 years old, 5 years old, 15 years old, or 25 years old, or 45 years old. Jesus is still real. Jesus is still alive. And so I just pray that those kids live with an open heart, try to learn as much as they can about the Lord, and try to find somebody to look up to. And the person I look up to ultimately is Jesus Christ. And that's why I am where I am today.
It's just bullshit, Truth Seeker, and people are so easily deceived. I bet you all sorts of people are watching this video just getting angry at me right now. Getting angry at the truth teller. Fooled by these deceivers because they talk all nice and soft and pretty and keep saying Jesus. Let me show you something, Truth Seeker. Yesterday, before the Seahawks game ended, I knew that they were going to come back and win it because I was following a pattern. Yesterday, every single team that began 5-5 before the games began won at home, and every team that was 5-5 lost on the road. The Seahawks were one of the 5-5 teams playing at home that improved to 6-5. The Texans did it. The Jets did it. The Giants lost on the road. They were 5-5. They fell to 5-6. Two teams that were 5-5 had games against 5-5 opponents. Both teams that were at home, the Chiefs and the Colts, won. Notice the C&C won at home and the B&B lost on the road. C&C 33. Hasselback's there still tossing it for the Colts. Guy we talked about in the Seahawks Steelers Super Bowl. So that concludes this post. Next up is the Broncos rigging. It's even better than this one. Until next time, Truth Seeker.